love cannot be replaced by anything else on this earth. That is a very true and a genuine feeling.
And one of the best ways we can express our devotion to Lord is by cooking for Him and offering Him this food. But in Vrindavan, the devotees worship Lord Krishna not because of His godliness, but because of His sweetness.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
The door to the heart is through the mouth,
Yes.
right?
And
We
that
know
is
that.
how it is practiced in every house.
And Janmashtami marks that day where Lord Krishna descended to exchange love.
Namaskaram, a warm welcome to this episode of MicDrop. Wishing all Hamsa TV viewers a very happy Shri Krishna Janmashtami. In today's episode, we have a special guest with us, Ft.Adipurusa Haridas. He completed his engineering from PES University and went to pursue his MTech from BITS Pilani. During his engineering days, he discovered his purpose in Krishna consciousness. Today, he is a Bhakti Shastri graduate and is currently pursuing Bhakti Vaibhav studies. He has delivered lectures on Bhagavad Gita and Vedic sciences across various IITs, NITs and schools across country. He joins us today in this special episode to share his insights and experiences on Krishna Bhakti. Let's begin this special episode. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Janmashtami Shubhakangshalu.
Wish you the same. Thank you very much.
Firstly, thank you so much for joining me on my show.
It's my pleasure to be here on your show.
So initially I've heard you are multi-talented, firstly. One, business okati, engineering okati, being a cloud architect, and sudden drift and shift to spirituality, Krishna consciousness. మీ జర్నీ గురించి కొంచెం మాకు చెప్పండి.
ఓకే సో నేను 2016లో పిఎస్ బీటెక్ డిగ్రీ కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్కి జాయిన్ అనమాట ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్. సో ఇన్ ద కోర్స్ ఆఫ్ మై ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ ఐ కేమ్ ఇన్ కాంటాక్ట్ విత్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ మై సీనియర్స్ హూ వర్ ప్రీచింగ్ ఇండియన్ ఫిలాసఫీ. And because, as you know, we had a good exposure to it even at school.
Correct.
So I was quite interested in that. And they took a systematic course on what Indian philosophy is and especially dealt with Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And that appealed to me very much. Because not only from the philosophical point of view, but even from the practice of those individuals who were teaching that message, that was very impactful. Because we see people who practice Bhagavad Gita, preach Bhagavad Gita or study Bhagavad Gita, but it is very rare to find someone who is practicing it genuinely in their lives, situated in whatever profession they are. So adi chusi naki chana inspire aya, because they were engineering graduates. Okay. Some of them were gold medalists in the very university I was studying. So despite being the toppers in their own department, they didn't have to give time for preaching philosophy or studying philosophy. They could have done many other things, but seeing their dedication in teaching, understanding and practicing Bhagavad Gita, that inspired me a lot. So there were many seniors from electrical department, computer science department, who were in our college, who actually introduced me to this path of Krishna consciousness, spirituality. And under their guidance and the guidance of seniors, I got opportunity to pursue serious systematic study in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Later, when I was in third year, I pursued a course called as Bhakti Shastri, which is a degree in the study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion and Ishopanishad. These four subjects were dealt from Mayapur Institute of Higher Education. And then I continued my higher studies, which is called as Bhakti Vaibhav, serious study in Srimad Bhagavatam, which I am still continuing. So this is how I came to Krishna consciousness, through my seniors at college who actually inspired me through their preaching and practice in Krishna consciousness.
It's very rare. College students preach chesi and practical ganu they're doing it ante, as you told, it's very interesting. Yeah. Basically, ఎవరైనా interesting చేసినప్పుడు we will feel to go and learn it. I think that led you the path.
Yeah, definitely. Because we don't see that phenomenon
Correct.
quite often.
Correct. People preach, but practicality is zero in the present world. Yes. So, ఇప్పుడు మనం ఈ ఎపిసోడ్ జన్మాష్టమి స్పెషల్ అని చేస్తున్నాం కదా. I would like to ask you one question about Janmashtami. Originally, what is Janmashtami? Andru, not celebration is one part, but other than spiritual and mythological itchi, what is the true meaning of Janmashtami?
Okay. So 5,000 years ago, exactly I think 5,126 years, if I'm not wrong, or 5146 years, if I'm not wrong, for this year. So Lord Krishna actually advented to this world. So generally when we speak of Lord Krishna, we think of him to be an avatar. Especially in South India, we have this conception that Lord Krishna is Lord Vishnu's avatar.
Correct.
But when we see from a scriptural point of view, the scriptures clearly say that Lord Krishna is avatari, or one who descends, from whom all the other avatars emanate. And there are various proofs for that from scriptures. For example, Srila Vedavyas in his Srimad Bhagavatam, which is his magnum opus literature, after compiling the entire Vedic literature, he writes a commentary on that. And that is Srimad Bhagavatam, which is called as the essence of all Vedic literature. In which, in the first canto, third chapter, he lists out many incarnations of the Lord. Now, if I were to ask you, how many incarnations of the Lord do we know of, or do we think we have?
I would tell 10.
Yeah, correct, right? That is the general understanding.
Yes.
But the scriptures say that he has unlimited incarnations.
Okay.
He descends in unlimited forms for the welfare of living entities and for bringing them out of this material world. And in that chapter, third chapter of first canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Vedavyas highlights 24 prominent incarnations. And after highlighting all these incarnations, at the end, he says a verse which is considered as a thesis of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is called as Charama Shloka. The great scholar Srila Jiva Goswami says that every Purana has a thesis. And this particular shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam is considered as a thesis, in which he says that all the above incarnations mentioned arise from Lord Sri Krishna. Ete cham shakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridyanti Yuge Yuge. So whenever Indra's enemy threaten his existence, the Lord descends to wipe out or vanquish these enemies and to restore Dharma. So now what significance does the advent of Lord has into this world? One is that he appears to re-establish Dharma, which he says in 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata, the famous shloka. But in the next immediate shloka he says that more important for me than establishing Dharma in this world is to exchange loving relationship with my devotees.
Okay.
Because establishment of Dharma can be done by God's representative also. We have prophets of God,
Yes.
we have messengers of God, we have Vaishnavacharyas who descend to establish Dharma and vanquish adharma. But Lord Krishna's main intent in his advent is to have loving exchange with his devotees. And Janmashtami marks that day where Lord Krishna descended to exchange love with the Yadavas, with the Kurus, with the Pandavas, with his parents, whom he accepted as his parents, Devaki Vasudeva, and then as his foster parents, Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. So the main aspect or the significance of Janmashtami is not only that Lord Krishna advented 5,000 years ago to experience or to relish mellows with his devotees, we should also understand that the same Lord is ready to appear in the temple of our hearts.
Basically, it's exchange love between God and the devotee.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. As you mentioned now when we were talking, Krishna can be heard, or if someone is in trouble or something, people tell Krishna will answer your prayers. What is your take on this one? Is that true? Or practically, because you are into this one, and we have heard a lot about Krishna always answers your prayers, no matter who you are, what you are, forget your religion, forget your base. Just pray to him in the way you have to do very honestly.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So this is mentioned in 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita as well, where Lord Krishna says, Ye yata mam prapadyante tams tataiva bhajamyaham. It literally translates to be, whosoever approaches me in whatsoever way, I worship him accordingly. So in general religious traditions, we understand that the devotee worships God.
Correct.
But Krishna consciousness is slightly different, wherein the God himself is interested in worshipping his devotee. So when a devotee is looking forward to Krishna's help or Krishna's support or even Krishna's grace, he can see that he receives Krishna's grace. We have historical examples of how Mother Draupadi was in a precarious situation amongst the Kurus, and when she raised her hands for help, Lord Krishna extended unlimited sari protecting her.
Correct.
We also hear of the pastime of Gajendra, who was held by a crocodile for a long time, and he raised his lotus offering his prayers to Lord Narayan. Lord Narayan himself descended to protect Gajendra. Or we also know of pastimes where the Lord has reciprocated with his devotees, like what we see in the case of Kanakadas here in Karnataka. So it is not to be thought that Lord Krishna used to reciprocate with devotees historically, and maybe he does not do now. No. So Lord Krishna reciprocated with his devotees, and he continues to reciprocate in the hearts of sincere devotees, and he will always continue. For example, I can give you a recent example. We know of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, who in the age of 70, he left India and went abroad to preach the message of Krishna consciousness. Now, can you imagine this scenario at a time when everyone wants to retire, when everyone wants to relax, or when even religious people want to go to a pilgrim place and leave their bodies there, completely immersed in Krishna consciousness? This man, who is a sannyasi, 70 years old, is deciding to fulfill the order of his spiritual master, and is leaving India, a mission that was never undertaken by any spiritual leader in the past, to extent that Srila Prabhupada has undertaken. And we see in his journey to America, he had 2 heart attacks.
Okay.
He went on a cargo ship. It is impossible for even a young man like me to think to go to America in a cargo ship. Even a flight journey of 2 nights and 2 days would be very tiring. But this was a man who took up a cargo ship, journey in a cargo ship in Jaladuta from Bombay, from Calcutta, and then loaded the Srimad Bhagavatam sets in Cochin, and then he went to Boston for a month, and he had 2 heart attacks. He is 70, he does not know where he is going, he does not know what kind of people he is going to meet, he does not know where to stay, he does not even know what he will cook for himself. He had a small bag of potatoes and small lentils, bag of lentils. And with faith in Lord Krishna, and he is not thinking that he is going to America to preach the message of Lord Krishna. He is saying that my name is called Bhakti Vedanta, but neither do I have devotion in me, nor do I know the understanding of the Vedas completely. But you have placed me in a situation where I am supposed to represent your philosophy. So in reality, my understanding is that Srimad Bhagavatam is going to preach in US. But there needs to be some coolie who needs to take Srimad Bhagavatam. And so probably I am doing that job. And this was his perspective and mentality. So in such a scenario, we see how a devotee is put into a precarious situation, traveling for 1 month in a cargo ship with 2 heart attacks. But still we see how Lord Krishna reciprocated. In just 12 years, Srila Prabhupada went around the globe 14 times, establishing 108 temples, preaching Krishna consciousness to those people who have never heard of Krishna in their entire lives, establishing Krishna consciousness so strongly that these people who came to Krishna consciousness from West are coming back to India today and preaching here. So this we see in our lives is a reciprocation of Lord Krishna. So this is an example. And even in my life personally, I see Lord Krishna has reciprocated in multiple times, even to an extent of where I was in a precarious situation such as losing my life as well, a gas cylinder accident or multiple times. So we see that Lord is always cautious about protecting his devotees because he is Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam, the dearmost friend of all living entities. So in this world we look for help, but all help that comes to us in this world is either futile, temporary, or we cannot always trust the help that we receive. But in case of Lord Krishna, he is a supreme well-wisher who not only knows what is good for us, who is always ready at beacon's call to help us. But a devotee's intention is not to receive help from Krishna. Rather, a devotee always thinks how he can serve Lord Krishna. That is a devotee's perspective. But from the perspective of the Lord, he is always ready to help his devotees and serve them.
There is a beautiful place, Vrindavan, in our country, and it is considered as heart for Krishna Bhakti. How is Janmashtami celebrated there? Because it's very special.
Yes, Janmashtami in Vrindavan is very special. The reason is the rest of the world worships Krishna because he is God. But in Vrindavan, the devotees worship Lord Krishna not because of his godliness, but because of his sweetness. So when we worship God, the mood is of reverence, the mood is of respect, and the mood is of being humbly situated in the service of the Lord. But despite this being the background, in case of the worship in Vrindavan is more oriented towards the sweetness of Lord Krishna. Because the sweetness of Lord Krishna enchants a devotee more than his greatness. Too often surrender ourselves to a great person is very easy, but to surrender ourselves to a person of heart, sweet, is very difficult. So the Vrindavan celebration, Janmashtami celebration in Vrindavan is very special because the aspect of worship there is more dominantly inclined towards the sweetness of the Lord. And we see the worship here in the rest of the world, we worship Lord Krishna as a supreme absolute truth, as a supreme deity, as God of all gods, one who is residing as Paramatma in the hearts of all living entities. But in Vrindavan, they love Krishna for what he is. Just pure love for Krishna. And Krishna reciprocates with them in the same way. So, and the surprising aspect or the wonderful aspect of this is the same mood in which Vrajavasis or Vrindavanvasis celebrate Janmashtami can be celebrated by everywhere, by all people. So, the mood is predominantly focused on sweetness of Lord Krishna rather than his greatness. But for us to relish the sweetness of Lord, we should understand his greatness.
And one other thing is about food. So Krishna is a foodie that can be called in the terms of Gen Zs or whatever it is. So what is this take of you on Krishna's food? 108 varieties of food done. It's not only on the day of Janmashtami, but if you take examples of big temples like Vrindavan, Puri Jagannath, every day Lord is given with so many delicious and very goodly and freshly made food. So what is this? Is there a significant meaning behind this Naivedya?
Yeah. So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says in the 9th chapter, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Actually, the Lord is looking for the devotion of the devotee. And one of the best ways we can express our devotion to Lord is by cooking for him and offering him this food. So we see in every Krishna temple, prasadam holds a very significant aspect. For example, if you go to Puri or Srirangam temple, the way in which the prasadam is offered to the Lord, the bhoga is offered to the Lord is mesmerizing. If you go to any ordinary person in Puri and ask them how many times in a day that the Lord takes, they will never reveal to you because they think that you will never believe it. So we have this idea of 56 offerings. So the Vrajavasis actually offer Lord Krishna their love, and through this food, which is called as bhoga, and then offer to the Lord Naivedya. So what basically happened is, during the 7 days and 7 nights when Lord Sri Krishna lifted Govardhan, generally Lord Krishna is offered 8 times bhoga a day. 8 times bhoga and 6 times aratis. So for 7 days and 7 nights, Lord Krishna could not be offered anything in the way that he is generally offered. So for 7 nights and 7 days, 8 times, what will that be? 56. And that's why these 56 offerings, Chappan Bhog, is often offered to the Lord as a representation of devotee's love for Lord. Even as a devotee, every devotee actually he makes it a point to learn how to cook, because that is a significant way where we can show our love to Lord. So after all, the Lord is not looking for our food, but he is looking for our
love.
Devotion, our love. And that can be represented, that can be expressed to Lord through the means of wonderful offerings. And that is a way in this world. The door to the heart is through the mouth, right?
And
we know
that is how it is practiced in every house.
Yes. But the main aspect is the ingredient that the Lord looks for in our cooking is love.
In this fast-paced world or in this Kali Yuga, what do you tell that people can take away from Bhagavad Gita and practically implement in their life for them to be a better person?
Yes, definitely this is a fast-paced world.
Yes.
Correct, right? People don't realize what actually brings them happiness.
Correct.
So we think things brings happiness to us, but in reality, it is only good relationship with people that can actually bring happiness. And despite these good relationships, we understand that they are temporary in nature and they are not fulfilling. Now think of a relationship that is eternal and that is extremely fulfilling. Now that kind of relationship is a relationship that every living entity has with the Lord. It's not just devotees or not just humans. Every living entity has this dormant, loving relationship with Lord Krishna. They may have forgotten it, but it is not lost. And in this world, the message of Bhagavad Gita is actually enabling people to awaken that loving relationship with Lord Krishna and with everyone. So Krishna consciousness or the message of Bhagavad Gita simply means to love Lord Krishna, to love those who love Lord Krishna, to love those who are trying to love Lord Krishna, and to love those whom Lord Krishna loves.
Basically
which means
everyone.
Yes. So that message is what Bhagavad Gita actually conveys us. Because our relationship with every other living entity on a physical worldly platform is temporary. But if we look through that relationship in terms that he is also a part and parcel of God, of Lord Krishna, just as I am, then we will equally love all people regardless of all the physical barriers or mental barriers that we have, regardless of the culture, tradition, religion, nationality, regardless of all the barriers that we have created for ourselves, we will love all living entities because we will consider and understand them as part and parcel of Lord Krishna. And this is the message of Bhagavad Gita. In fact, Vaishnava Acharyas don't see Bhagavad Gita as a philosophical literature. Rather, they see it as a love letter from God. And that's why it is addressed as Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the loving letter of Lord.
Okay. And one more very important thing is this mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What is the importance of this mantra?
Yeah. So generally, the Sanskrit term mantra means manas trayate iti mantra, which means that which delivers our mind. Delivers our mind from what? From stress, from anxiety, from depression, tension. So in this world, in the modern world, in the fast-paced world, as you earlier said, that we are involved into too many things that we often get stressed out.
Yes.
We often lose ourselves and lose something that is valuable to us when we actually focus on some trivial things. So mantra actually helps us concentrate and come back to our original self, rediscovering ourselves and our relationship with Krishna. So when we chant the mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, it is a loving prayer that we are reciting to please Lord Krishna. It simply means that we want to please Lord Krishna through his loving devotional service, through our loving devotional service to him. So the word Hare means Lord Krishna's energy or Srimati Radharani, and Krishna means Krishna himself. So we never worship Krishna alone. We never worship Narayan alone. We worship Lakshmi Narayan, Sita Ram, Radha Krishna, because they are our eternal parents. And when we worship them by chanting this mantra, we actually deliver ourselves from tension, depression, and reawaken our relationship with Lord Krishna. This is called as a hotline to God. So this 16-syllable mantra is what Brahmaji describes to Narad Muni as a means by which we can transcend the malicious effect of Kali Yuga, which is mentioned in a Upanishad called as Kali Santarana Upanishad. So Narad Muni was curious as to how people in Kali Yuga can actually remain peaceful and stay blissful. So Brahmaji in such a circumstance tells him this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, iti shodasha namnam kali kalmashanashanam nattah parataropayo sarva vedeshu drishyate. So this 16-syllabled mantra, this 16-worded mantra is the only way, only means by which people of Kali Yuga can transcend its malicious effect. There is no other way and there is no other prescription in the Vedas. Yes. Generally, my name and my form are different, or in this world, a name of a person and his physical form are different. It is only an attribution that is given to him. It could be some other name, it could be a name given to some other person. So the name and the person in this world are two different entities. But in case of God, there is no difference between his name, his form, his quality, his personality and his activities. So when we chant Hare Krishna, it means we are in his Krishna's personal association. We are in the personal association of Lord. So there is no difference between his name and his form. And therefore, this mantra, by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we actually can deliver ourselves from the miseries of this world, understand the reality of the loving relationship which every living entity has with Lord Krishna, and by which we can experience eternity, complete knowledge and bliss.
Yes. If someone wants to start, so how do they have to start telling this mantra? Can they tell it any time in the day or once you get up early in the morning? Yeah. So what will be the right time, or is there something like that, or can they tell it when they are working also?
Yeah. As such, the father of the Sankirtan movement, Lord Chaitanya, mentions in his Shikshashtakam that Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kala. For the chanting of the holy name, Lord Krishna's holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there are no hard and fast rules.
Okay.
So just as a small child seeking help of his mother may call out his mother, Amma, or his father, Appa, similarly a devotee helplessly calls out to Lord. So there are no hard and fast rules to chant the holy name of the Lord. But Vaishnava Acharyas have prescribed a specific method and a system so that we can awaken the Krishna consciousness, dormant Krishna consciousness within us. To start off, what we could do is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. regularly in our day. So we have in a day 24 hours, 1440 minutes. We can dedicate 10 minutes to chant the holy names of the Lord. At the start of the day, when we are just ready after having a bath and ready to go out to do our chores, we can start spending 10 minutes every day chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So 108 times. Generally, it is recommended to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in the multiples of 108. And for a beginner, it is always good that he can chant 108 times every day. And by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 108 times, what he will essentially be doing is he will be prayerfully calling out to Lord, and in an endeavor to revive the relationship which he already has with Lord, but he has forgotten. He can chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and by this he will spiritually nourish himself and slowly progress in Krishna consciousness.
And there is this another famous shloka of Lord, Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranataya Klesha Nashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. If it is said that if someone in a very big problem, or if someone is facing sudden death or accident or whatever hurdle may come into, if this shloka is chanted regularly on a daily basis, this all things can be avoided or the intensity of the problem can be reduced. So is this true?
So the holy name of the Lord has extreme potency. In fact, if we look at the Vedic literatures and Vedic rituals very carefully, any ritual that we start with the holy name of the Lord. For example, let us say we are doing a particular puja or a particular vrata. We start with Achman, and what do we say? Keshvaya Namaha, Madhavaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha, Vishnuvaya Namaha. And even when the ritual ends, we say Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Even if we are worshipping some other devata, let's say Ganesha, the famous worship of Ganesha Chaturthi happens in Mumbai. And even in Mumbai, when there are lakhs of people worshipping Lord Ganesha, at the end of the worship they say, Kayena vacha manasendriyanva buddhyatmanava anusmiti swabhava karomi yatyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. And they chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 3 times. So it is not just specifically about the shloka you mentioned. The holy name has extreme potency that our brains just cannot imagine. And if we read the Shastras clearly tells the glories of holy name. So there is a historical incident which Srimad Bhagavatam actually mentions in the 6th canto of a sinful person called as Ajamila. Despite being born in a very cultured and civilized family, he was actually deviated through he saw a uncivilized sight of a man behaving casually with a prostitute, and he was attracted to that. And he spent the next 68 years of his life in her association. But there was one good thing that he did. The one good thing that he did, knowingly or unknowingly, is to name his 10th son as Narayana. Okay. And on his deathbed, he saw the superintendents of death, Yamaraj's servants, actually bringing him to Yamaraj's abode. And in such a scenario, he helplessly called for his son, Narayana. Not out of affection for the Lord, but he called out to his son. And as soon as he called out to his son, Narayana, the Vishnu Dutas came to protect him. And they argued with Yamudutas, saying that despite all the sinful activities that Ajamila may have committed in the past, his helpless chanting of holy name of the Lord has actually delivered him from all the sins that he could have committed or he has committed. But we should understand that this should not be used as a loophole to sin against the holy name. Yes, the holy name definitely has a potency to bring us out of the material clutches. And that is why the holy name is so powerful. But we should always be cautious that we sincerely chant the holy name not to overcome our material trouble, rather to revive our relationship with Krishna. See, in every endeavor in this world we face trouble, we have to struggle. So when we are actually endeavoring for something that is eternal, something that is truly happy and something that is extremely blissful, do you think the endeavor is going to be very easy?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. But the endeavor is definitely joyful. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, it is susukam kartum avyayam. The process of devotional service is simple but not easy. It is simple to those who are simple hearted. And those who have faith in the holy name of the Lord, to them the Lord will be able to reciprocate. But those who actually chant the holy name, even faithlessly, they will receive the grace of the Lord and reciprocation of the Lord, but not to the extent that someone who sincerely, consistently chants the holy name. So yes, what you said is true, that anybody who knowingly or unknowingly even chants the holy name of the Lord once, he is destined to come out of material clutches. But to consistently show our faithfulness to Lord, one has to systematically practice chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
If Krishna was alive in 2025 in a human form, what would he tell to this youngsters of or youths of 2025 who are stressed with very small, useless problems which are not even identified as problems, who are depressed for things which should not be depressed, who are anxious for things which they should not be anxious for? What would Krishna tell those kind of people to come out of those tensions and have a blissful life?
So actually, the condition of the living entity in this world is compared to a child who has left the care of his parents. See, if a child is in the care of his parents, his education, his needs, his food, all his physical, mental, emotional needs, all are taken care. And what is expected of the child? Just to cooperate with his parents, or to serve, or to remain happy in the shelter of his parents. But if he has forsaken the shelter, then he naturally has to undergo trouble. And that is a condition of every living entity. We can re-shelter ourselves under the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and that would be the best place for every living entity, because Lord Krishna is a dearmost friend of every living entity. And if I were to think of Lord Krishna appearing before someone, then I would definitely think that Lord Krishna was reiterate the same message that he spoke in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. When he is speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, he mentions to Arjuna in the 4th chapter that it is not the first time he is speaking Bhagavad Gita. He has already spoken the Bhagavad Gita 12 crore years ago to Vivaswan, the king of the sun planet, and he is reiterating the same message to Arjuna. So, in my opinion, and as per what the Shastra says, Lord Krishna would speak the message of Bhagavad Gita, telling these people that they can experience complete happiness, knowledge, and eternity in his loving shelter. So, when the child actually is orphaned or has left his home and is on his own, there is nobody to take care of his food, his education, his basic needs. He has to undergo untold trouble, untold struggle, just because he has left the care of his parents. Now, what is the best gift we can give to that child? Give him food, give him education, give him clothing, but that cannot replace the love that he would have received from his parents. So, the best gift that we can give to the child is to bring him back in the shelter of his parents. And similarly, the best gift that we can give to every living entity is to help them reconcile in their relationship with the Lord, in which they will experience complete happiness. So, Lord Krishna is already residing in the hearts of all living entities as Paramatma, and if he were to physically appear, which devotees can understand and can sense it, to others, then he would naturally, in my opinion, reiterate the same message, same loving message of Bhagavad Gita, which he spoke through Arjuna to all of us again.
And yes, as you told, that will be a great gift to give it to someone who is in need of real love. Love cannot be, love cannot be replaced by anything else on this earth. That is a very true and a genuine feeling. And as you told, Krishna's incarnation is only to give love to his devotees by himself. So in this Kali Yuga, what will be that one message other than love that Krishna Bhaktis can tell to the people who are yet not following this?
Okay, so this is an interesting question.
Yeah.
So people in this world, everyone, despite whatever their endeavors are, they are looking for one thing. If it's a student, or even if it's a businessman, or if it is someone who is looking for a good relationship, the commonality amongst all people of this world, and not only amongst the people of this world, amongst all living entities, that they are directly or indirectly looking for happiness. So the message would be, even if someone is not a devotee of Lord Krishna, or if someone who is not worshipping Lord Krishna, if they really intend to experience happiness, happiness not in terms of pleasures that can be that are short-lived, but happiness in terms of truly experiencing it for everlasting time, then I would suggest them that it's the right time for them to study Srimad Bhagavad Gita and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because we are all ultimately looking for happiness, and happiness is what everyone can experience in association of Lord Krishna.
On this eve of Janmashtami, thank you so much for sharing the knowledge with the people and sharing your personal experiences with the Lord himself. So we have a small token of gratitude from our art partner Doodle Alley. So this is a small token of gratitude to you. keep spreading the spiritual knowledge, and also, as you already mentioned, be practical about what you're doing, which is a very important thing.
Thank you very much. It was a wonderful interview. It was a wonderful time here in the MicDrop. It was a very wonderful experience for me, and giving me an opportunity to spread this message. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. After this episode, I think there is an endless knowledge or lessons to learn about Leelas of Shri Krishna. It's always said, Krishna is very near to his devotees in the form of love. Keep loving, spread love. For more unscripted, unfiltered and unmissable conversations, subscribe to Hamsa TV channel. Namaskaram.